Fashion, Arts and Media. I'm Lydia Cutler, and today with me I have a very important guest. The fact that he's going to be showcasing at Aberdeen Fashion Week for the first time. Please welcome. Tell us about yourself and tell us about your journey.
Hello everyone, my name's Cameron Traa. I'm 18 years old. I'm from Aberdeen and I currently live in Glasgow. I study fashion design and I've got a vintage clothing company called Traa Clothing. We sell functional vintage clothing, sort of outdoor apparel, sportswear, workwear, and yeah, I've been doing that for about 2 years now. Started off on Depop sort of about a year ago. I was doing really well on there. Sorry, I'll mute my phone. Doing really well on Depop, but I didn't like the fact that I was embedded within an app, sort of just a user. So I sort of branched out, started an Instagram page, started a Shopify website, and just sort of threw myself into it. Had to restart, multiple times, made heaps of mistakes. I feel like I'm sort of on the right path now, and
right.
Yeah, so that's a wee bit about my journey.
Sounds good. So you said you started this when you were 16.
Yeah.
What prompted you to start your fashion design collection?
Well, yeah. So I went to an international school in Aberdeen, so we didn't have a uniform. And I feel like that, and I feel like a part of me just really liked clothes, and I wanted more clothes. I was young, I didn't have any money. So I sort of got into going to charity shops. And then I ended up finding some really valuable pieces of clothing, got into eBay, Depop, and then I switched school and I went to another school. And my mum was telling my business teacher about it at parents' evening, and he was onto it straight away, and just really sparked the idea. And then from there, sort of as that year went on, we really sort of got the fundamentals of the business down. And then I left school, and from there I just started really putting in the effort, putting a lot of work into my mindset to get my just goals, massive. So yeah, it was definitely charity shops, and then just sort of the school really helping me. And then from there it was just, I found the passion, and I found it was late nights after school, and I was like, do you know what, I actually would rather be doing this in school. So obviously I still go to college, but going to college gave me a lot more free time.
Right.
So yeah.
You're very young, and yet I can say you are already established business-wise.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
I like that. So
definitely still at the start of my journey. I'd say I started class in my head. I only started really properly this year. That was when I was sort of restarted my website, sort of rebranded a wee bit, sort of found my niche, because I feel like the 2 years that I've been doing this, Traa Clothing, it's an extension of my personality. And obviously when I was charity shopping, it was just random, whatever I could find.
Right.
But then being in lockdown, you spend a lot of time in your head, you know what I mean? And goals just formed, and I was forced to sort of re-strategize, to save up money to buy from suppliers, and you really need to pick what you want. So I definitely found my personal style, and then I figured out what I want Traa Clothing to be. So yeah.
Right. So speaking of international school, my youngest son went to international school until last year. I
Okay.
can tell you that was so difficult for me because he wanted all the latest trends in fashion.
Oh, I know.
And they can be so expensive. I don't know. I think that the international school must be quite fashionable.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely different to the sort of public, if you go to a public school, do you know what I mean? Like people don't really care as much
Because
almost.
of uniforms.
Exactly, because they've got a uniform. It's what they wear on like the weekend or when they're at home. Yeah, that definitely was something for me that I think it builds that desire to like want clothes
Mhm.
and like want things. Do you know what I mean? So,
I understand. Totally.
and it's, you know, when I spent my last 2 years at school wearing a uniform, and it's just an easier decision in the morning. But I did
Exactly.
find myself in the headmaster's office at one point because I'm just always trying to push the limits of that school uniform with my trousers and my shoes. I was always wearing Doc Martens and managed to get away with some Carhartt trousers. So
Sounds interesting.
yeah.
So you have actually started more like a bigger margin of your fashion selling during lockdown.
Yeah, definitely.
That's something because during lockdown we have so much time on our hands. So you've really done well with your time.
Yeah.
At this time.
Yeah, definitely sort of taught me that the week is 7 days and not 5 days and 2 days off. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm definitely grateful that I think like that now.
Exactly.
I like working. Do you know what I mean? That's what keeps me going.
Right. Sounds good. So you're doing fashion design in Glasgow.
Yeah.
What exactly are you doing? Are you doing are you making dresses, sketching dresses, or are you in the marketing side of fashion?
No, well, I'm at college and it's just my first year, so we've just been going over sort of the fundamentals of like making patterns and cutting blocks and fifth scale stuff like that. A lot of like research as well,
Right.
like that behind the scenes. So we've got like the hands-on stuff, and we've also got like the fashion, like just stuff about the industry, really, about trends and stuff like that. So, but it's definitely more orientated to the design. We've not been able to get into college for ages, so we've not really had a lot of. We've not been able to. We were meant to make a dress this year,
Right.
But we're not going to be able to do that, I don't think. So I'll definitely sort of, I think next year, first year in my HNC, I'm doing womenswear again.
Right.
So I should be able to make a dress. And then for my last year, I can do menswear.
This is what I was actually going to ask you, but you've already answered. I was going to ask you which one do you prefer to make? Is it women's wear or menswear or kids wear?
Probably to start off with menswear.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like when I get into women's wear, it'll just be sort of an extension of the menswear sort of stuff. Not really much difference. I feel like it'll be more sort of sportswear.
Right.
Sort of a bit of like workwear, like sort of stuff. But right now, I class myself as more of a stylist.
Right.
So, and I feel like my male looks are an extension of myself, just on different sized people.
Right.
And my women's wear looks are essentially menswear looks on a woman. Do you know what I mean? So that's sort of my personal style, and I don't think I'll change from that. It's just sort of how my brain works.
Okay. So, in other words, you're going to be making men t-shirts, but with or rather, women t-shirts with a touch of a man's clothing.
Yeah, I think when I do get to making pieces, it'll be quite like technical, like a lot of pockets and nice material, and it'll have more of like a like different panels,
Right.
more than like graphics and stuff like that. And it'll be like sort of a look, quite a functional look. And I think I'll just sort of transfer that in terms of like sizing and color maybe, just to a woman.
Right. Sounds good. So tell me about these clothes that you've been selling on eBay. And did you say Depop?
Yeah.
Tell me about them. Is it women's wear you're selling, or is it menswear?
I have only just started selling women's wear.
Okay.
But I sort of used to only specialize in menswear. I've got more menswear than women's wear, just because I like obviously sourcing stuff that I can wear. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
But it's definitely more of a sportswear look. I quite like a hiker, like hiking brands, like a lot of them, sort of on the street. I like the sort of idea of stuff which is built for the extreme being used to go to the post office and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Like that element of
wear.
Yeah, exactly. More than like, I don't like when I dress up or like I feel like I put effort into an outfit and then it's just rubbish in the rain, or you're a bit cold, or do you know what I mean? So I think that definitely sort of sculpted my style.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah.
So who dresses your family? Your sister, your mom? Do you style them?
My mum definitely comes to me for advice. And my sister's just got her own, she's just got her things that she likes, do you know what I mean? Like zip up jumpers and stuff like that. So I don't think I could. There's definitely things like I will get her stuff that I know she'll like, but there's not like, you couldn't just get her like a jumper or something, or she would be like, nah, do you know what I mean?
Right.
So she knows what she likes.
Right.
My mum,
sorry, go on. Sorry.
My mum definitely, she has her own style as well, and I always say to her like, oh, what about this or what about that? And she knows what she likes as well, but she'll come to me and be like, oh, what about this or that?
This is what I was going to say. Your mom is very fashionable. Does she get it from you, or do you get the fashion sense from her?
I think I definitely got it from her. She was the one that dressed me when I was a little boy.
Right.
Boy for me in a nice outfit. So
sounds interesting. Now let's go back to your school. You are doing a certificate in fashion. Do you intend to pursue it to diploma, to university, or do you want to stop somewhere and continue with what you're doing?
That is something that I've thought about. And for me, it's just a decision that I'll make at the end of college. If my business is at a point where, you know, A, I'm financially stable, and B, I feel like I can design for an audience already, then I will just jump headfirst into that on my own. And then, you know, develop my business for another 4 years and then hire the people that went to uni and learned all the stuff. That would be my sort of ideal goal. But if I really enjoyed the time at college and I'm like, yeah, do you know what I mean? I need to learn as much as I can.
Right.
And just juggle the two.
Right.
I don't know what's going to happen. Do you know what I mean?
No, but you have a point there. Look at Bill Gates, for instance. He left his schooling somewhere, but employed those people who went to school for a long time to come and, you know, make these things for him so that he can earn more. So you have a niche there. And if you actually, whatever you want, if you put your mind to it, it's going to happen.
Exactly.
You know? So I think that you are in the right path there. And I wish you all the best, really.
Thank you.
Your fashion design and in your selling of fashion and also in your styling. Do you think that you might want to also do a bit more of styling, say maybe in fashion shows or maybe in other events.
Definitely music videos, stuff like that. Like I've definitely feel like I've got enough sort of knowledge about what my style is and what looks good on other people and stuff like that. That's definitely something that I can't wait to get into in the future. Sort of opportunities like that.
Right. Sounds good. Sounds really good. And I just hope that it can happen exactly the same well, it will happen.
It will.
I don't have to hope, because once you put your mind, as I said before, to something, it will happen.
Exactly.
There is no reason why it can't.
Exactly.
Yeah, especially because when listening to Dr. Spencer Poole, this is what he keeps telling people. As per Bob Proctor. Put your mind to something, do it, and it's going to work for you exactly how you want it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, well done.
Thank you.
Now, you must have friends who are your age mates. Do you style them?
Well, I definitely, if I've got shoots, like I had a shoot this week for the Aberdeen Fashion Week.
Yes.
So I got my friends in and I styled them.
Oh, wow.
Whenever I needed to do photo shoots for like promotion, I get my friends in and I style them. So, you know, I get the odd message from a friend that's going on a night out saying, oh, this or that. Do you know what I mean? So definitely sort of people come to me with questions about styling, and I love styling my friends and all of that as well.
That's really nice. That's really nice. So in the fashion industry, you don't just have the fashion design or the fashion selling, you also styling your friends, which means you start here, and maybe in 5 years, you probably will be styling the whole community. Who knows? Oh. This is great for you, really great.
Yeah.
So what can you advise somebody who is your age wanting to join the fashion industry?
Do you know what? It is looking in on it. It's a scary place. There's a lot of judgment. There's a lot of opinion, and you do just need to, before you go in, make sure that you've got thick skin. You don't care what anyone thinks.
Exactly.
You're doing your thing. Just get on your journey. Stay in your lane. Learn as much as you can. Make sure you're researching on Instagram and all that. And make sure you know what your end goal is. I think a lot of people jump in head first and buy some cheap blank t-shirts and screen print on them, and stuff like that isn't that good for the environment in the long term. And
exactly. Thank you.
By sort of growing my brand, I've chosen the route of vintage clothing because it is not bad for the environment, and that is a path which I would recommend a lot of people to get on. Because especially when you're finding your style, brands are expensive. Do you know what I mean? Get on Depop, get that cheap clobber. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, tell us how you are preparing for Aberdeen Fashion Week. You don't have to tell us everything, because if you do, then we don't have to watch your collection. Just a bit. Tell us a bit about what you're doing.
So is there a lot of sort of designers? Am I right to say that?
There is quite a few, yes.
Is there anyone else sort of like in my shoes, sort of as just sort of a stylist?
When it's digital, we don't really get to use stylists or anyone like that.
Yeah.
During the actual fashion week, which currently we are thinking that by October things will be better pandemic-wise, and then we can have an actual, well, it won't be the same really, because we'll be having 2-meter distancing. But we hope to be, in one room.
Yeah.
Then styling obviously will be part of that.
Because I feel when I was making my video, I do sort of feel a little bit different in the fact that I am sort of a stylist making a fashion show about like style. Do you know what I mean? In my style, in my brand.
Right.
So I definitely just went in there with sort of a creative mind to make something and sort of bring a few people together to do that. And my video, I absolutely love it. I'm sort of in the process of editing it just now. It's, you know, it shows off the outfit, but it's not like a dead serious thing. It's just me and my mates walking about.
No, don't. It's something you don't understand. The fact that you are studying fashion design and the fact that you've put these pieces together to make something, that on its own is very important for a fashion event. So don't even think that you are doing something which is out of what you should be doing. You're doing it right.
Yeah. That's what I like to hear. That's what I mean. I didn't want to ask. I just wanted to sort of jump myself into it. I found that I'd completely organized the shoot and I got there and I really just hadn't put that much effort into actually thinking about my video itself. So I just sort of went for it with my creative mind.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty raw, but you know, I mean, I love it. And
no, that's great.
I'll wait to share it with everyone.
That's great. Now, remember not to use copyrighted music because if you do, then not good. So I am really looking forward to your show because it's not every day you get 18-year-olds showcasing, 18-year-olds having the mind to start a business like you have, 18-year-olds who are already doing something in a fashion week, which is going to be having designers and stylists from around the world. So what you are doing, believe you me, is absolutely great.
Thank you.
Now, do you have anything you might want to tell the world? Oh, before that, please give us links to where we can find you, websites, where we can buy your collection and all that.
So it is traaclothing.com. That is TRAACLOTHING. And on Instagram or Facebook, it's Traa Clothing.
Right.
Yeah, that's me.
Sounds good.
Send a message if you've any questions or anything. I've got a drop tonight, which is the 4th of April. I don't know if this video will be out then or not.
Tonight is 4th of April. Your video won't be out tonight because it's going to OTN. So there's set times for OTN, but it will be on next week.
No, that's fine, but they might still be available, but I'm dropping mystery boxes.
Right.
So 2, 4, or 6 items.
Right.
So yeah, that's a product which I've introduced, which is a much more affordable way to shop with us.
Tell us more about that.
So yeah, it's just £30 for 2 items, 55 for 4, or 75 for 6.
So which items will those be? Like t-shirts?
That'll be items off my website. So jackets, fleeces, shorts, t-shirts, trousers, all of it. It'll just be, and it's all, you know, a lot over the value of what you're paying.
Right. So what's your website?
Pardon?
What's your website? Is it Traaclothing?
Traaclothing.com.
Right. Sounds good. Sounds really good. Now, anything else you might want to add before we wind up?
Thank you so much for having me.
It's my pleasure.
Can't wait for Aberdeen Fashion Week. Well done for all the work you're doing behind the scenes. It's a fantastic opportunity.
It's my pleasure always. Well, it's been wonderful talking to you. The fact that your mom is my friend, and then she's always actually talked about you. She talks about you and your fashion sense all the time. I asked you a tricky question there. I asked you who is it you or your mom that is more fashionable? It turns out you're more fashionable than your mom.
Yeah.
Let Dr. Traa not hear me saying that, because she won't like that. So anyway, it's been amazing talking to you, and I will see your collection. I'll see you on 28th when we have designer meet and greet. And then after that, for the main fashion week.
Yeah.
You take care and continue being active the way you are, because that's what we want for our young people. You are on the right path.
I will. Thank you.